Okay, you're welcome. Good afternoon or good evening, everybody. This is going to be very fun training. We are going to make it simple. It's going to be interactive. One thing is that if you have anything you want to say, maybe as I'm going in, you can ask questions so I can go deeper a bit. I want to make sure that you get it because if you don't get what I'm saying, I want to simplify blockchain and cryptocurrency for you. That's what we are going to do within the 2 weeks or 3 weeks that we have, that 3 Sundays that we have, because we can't talk everything today. And I don't want to give you all the information in one day so that you don't get confused. You need to get it little by little. But I want to simplify it, not even using the terms that I used when I was, studying crypto blockchain and cryptocurrency, because that time, there's a level you get in cryptocurrency as you are learning more, they will be giving you all the jargons, all the hash, and all these things. You'll be able to grasp it because you already know. So I just want to I want to teach you in a way that nobody know anything about blockchain. I just want to introduce you into blockchain and cryptocurrency so that you will now begin to look at it. Okay, is this what they are calling blockchain? Is this what is cryptocurrency? So I want to assume that maybe what you know, maybe is only Bitcoin. Maybe you have heard about Bitcoin and Ethereum. You don't even know every other thing. You don't know DeFi, you don't know CeFi, you don't know anything about exchanges. All we are just trying to open you up to what is this so that you can understand it properly. Because when it comes to blockchain, the question is, who invented blockchain? And what hard problem did it solve? If you can know this thing, just who invented it? What hard problem did it come to solve? It's a very big question that if you be able to answer it, it will help you to really navigate through the industry, the business point of it, the trading point of it, of whatever, and then you'll be able to now see the business side of it, because blockchain is going to disrupt a lot of industry. You need to know that. If you don't know it, and then you come into cryptocurrency, you come into blockchain, you just be chasing money. All of us are looking for money. Yes, money is one of the driving forces that make us do business. But one thing that will keep you in the business, if you know where that business is going, you may taste failure, you may lose money, but because of the fact that you know the future of that business and you don't want to miss out, you continue pressing on. If you don't know the future of a business, if you lose 1 or 2, 3 money, you run away from it and say, no, this is not what I will do, please. I've lost money here, I've lost money here, I've lost money. I bought cryptocurrency, and before you know, the price devalued from $1, from $5, it moved to $1 and all that. No. This thing is not good. I'm losing money, and they say this is money and all that. So you don't get it. And you may leave. By the time you now return, the thing has evolved and become something big that you now say, I didn't know before. Maybe I was misinformed. Yes, you were, because you don't understand what is blockchain, you don't understand what is cryptocurrency, but you understand what is how to make money, you understand what is trading, and then you move into trading and start trading and you encounter losses, and then you decided to run away from the business that has a future more than what you will gain now. That's why I come back to the basics for you, so that you'll be able to understand what is happening. Now, if we want to talk about blockchain, you cannot separate Bitcoin from blockchain. The same way you cannot study blockchain without talking about Bitcoin. That's why I said I want to simplify blockchain and cryptocurrency for you. Bitcoin is one of the cryptocurrencies that we all know. That's one of them. But you can't talk about blockchain without talking about Bitcoin. Do you know why? Because you cannot take you can take your money to another place to trade, but you cannot take your Bitcoin out of blockchain. You can't do that. You cannot take your Bitcoin out of blockchain. Let me explain. If you have money now, you can take your money from Nigeria and go to, let's say, France or even Dubai here, and then you change it to their own money and use it. You can use your Naira now and go to an exchanger, to a bureau de change in France, and you change it. You must not necessarily trade the money here in Nigeria, but you cannot take out Bitcoin out of blockchain and trade it in another place. Everything that you see that moves around, whether you are trading it on desk, whether you are having it in your wallet, whether you are having it in anywhere, all of them are connected to a blockchain. You can't take Bitcoin out of there and then begin to use it as a physical money. It's already in the blockchain and it cannot leave the blockchain. So you need to understand blockchain, and then you understand Bitcoin, and then so I want to take you to a journey right now that will open you up. We all know that Bitcoin have value because they are useful as a form of money. It has value. Bitcoin is backed by mathematics. You will know as we continue, because the mathematics I talk about is the proof of work, the mathematical algorithm that the miners need to solve that mathematical problem in order to mine the coin. So it's backed by mathematics. So all the attributes that is required for a form of money to hold value, Bitcoin has it. The only thing it requires now is trust and adoption. And Bitcoin has it. People trust Bitcoin. People are adopting Bitcoin. So because we have growing user base, merchants, startups everywhere that are using it now, we all can testify to that, that people are coming into Bitcoin, that we're having this blockchain scalability. But that's not what we are studying today. Blockchain scalability, to me, I'm getting new study about it. I'm getting new understanding about it, because I have not read it anywhere, but that what I'm studying, because what I know, I based on studies that some companies are working on trying to make it work. But I am beginning to feel that blockchain itself has a capacity of expanding itself, which I'm trying to find out. In 2017, when Bitcoin rose to either $20,000, a lot of people came into Bitcoin. We have this scalability problem that people were now charging high and everything. But all of a sudden, the thing later stopped, and charges started coming down, and things started normalizing. They didn't do anything. So I believe that this one that comes will still pass, and will come back to normal. And I think it's normalizing little by little. That means blockchain has a way of, that's my own. I've not read it anywhere. I'm on record, so that I will not be like this has been proven. But I am thinking this is personal. I'm a blockchain consultant, so I have the right to at times check up things to be able to come up with my own findings concerning blockchain. So I've not read this anywhere, but I'm just believing that it has a capacity of expanding itself. Because these scalability issues that we have, yes, it has a scalability problem. We've been looking at it. It's not processing fast like Visa and MasterCard, which is supposed to. But it has a way of absorbing the numbers and still coming back to normal when those issues has not been resolved. So people have not known the end of this. So that's not what we are studying today. The day we'll study that, we'll go deeper, and I'll show you why I said so. But I'll tell you two things, because this scalability, you should forget, within 1 month, days now, you see things begin to normalize, transactions begin to go fast, things begin to, charges begin to come down and everything. When nobody did anything to it, blockchain just absorb the people that comes in, rearrange itself. This is a study that we should look into. And I'll raise it in the blockchain consultant forum where I belong to. Let's look at this too and check if there is still something that is happening, because it has the capacity to do that. But for now, it has not been proven. But I feel so myself. I believe I'm not the only one that will be thinking in that direction. So now, let me show you views from Silicon Valley concerning Bitcoin. We are talking about cryptocurrency and blockchain. Remember, don't lose your sight on the topic. Don't lose your sight on the topic. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, he said that Bitcoin will eventually be the single global currency in few years to come. That's what he said. And then Tim Dapper is a billionaire. He said that fiat currency will be laughable in 10 years. That's if you come now and say you want to spend naira, that people will be laughing at you in the next 10 years. Can you imagine? That if somebody now come to you and said, I have naira I want to spend, that it will be laughable in the next 10 years. And this one, we already know this from the Silicon Valley, that blockchain will do to the financial system what internet did to media. I think this one is the one that maybe most of us are familiar with. But do you know that in the next 10 years, sincerely, that when people begin to talk about cryptocurrency, some are talking about fiat currency, they will be laughing at them. Will it be that everybody will go into crypto that time? Because we have, more especially in Nigeria, we have market women, we have rural women that don't know anything about all this, but they will learn. Because when everybody is going in this form, that's where others will join, or you miss out. You will join or you miss out. That's it. So now, let me give you detailed explanation of cryptocurrency, because you cannot talk about blockchain without you talking about cryptocurrency first. You first of all talk about cryptocurrency because there is a history that tied cryptocurrency to blockchain. So whenever you want to study blockchain, if you don't start from the beginning and then you start studying blockchain, some people thought, okay, you need to know about blockchain, then you know about, then you come and study cryptocurrency. No, you need to study cryptocurrency first so that you will now understand blockchain. If you don't do it that way, you're confused. This is my definition. A cryptocurrency is a digital currency, we all know that is created and managed through the use of advanced encryption techniques known as cryptography. Cryptography. When we talk about cryptography, it's something that allows you to hide information over a digital source. That's hide. If you study it, that study cryptography, we call them cryptographers or cyberpunks. These are cryptographers who study about cryptography. So we have many of them. They have been there for, centuries, generations. They have been there. And they've been studying all these things about cryptocurrency. So forget about 2008, 2009, that cryptocurrency, that Bitcoin came about. It has been there. That's why, okay, now let's look at it this way. Crypto means concealed. Crypto means concealed, secret or secured, which makes the money or currency. That means it's a concealed or secured one. That's what crypto means. We all know what currency is. We know currency, we know our fiat currency, we know. But crypto means concealed, secret, or secured. That's what crypto means. So when you call the word cryptocurrency, you are saying secured currency. That's what you are just saying. So cryptocurrency means secured currency or concealed currency or secret currency. So just know that and make sure that you begin to, after today, I'm just being excited for you because after now, you start doing this business at the point of knowledge. Start understanding so many things that you don't know before. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin. The creation of Bitcoin in 2009 marked the birth of the first digital currency to achieve widespread adoption across the globe. So now, that is the first. But now there's this concept of a secure digital currency. There are digital currency, there are currencies that are digital, but they are not secured. So when you call digital currency, it's different from cryptocurrency. Because currency that is digital is your own phone, your own amount, that you send to somebody from your phone to that person, despite it's a fiat currency, is digital. So you are sending digital currency to the person, but it's not a secured currency. I hope I'm communicating here, because this concept has been around since 1980s. There have been many attempts that directly inspired Satoshi Nakamoto's creation of Bitcoin since 1980s. And we are going to go through that right now. I know that one thing that comes to mind when someone mentions digital currency is Bitcoin. But digital currency and cryptocurrency is not the same. There are many currencies that are digital, but not every currency is a cryptocurrency. So don't make that mistake that ordinary people make. They can say digital currency. You know, digital currency is cryptocurrency. They don't know that there is difference between a digital currency and a cryptocurrency. You can call it secure digital currency. That's cryptocurrency. So for most people across the world, both young and old, the only secured digital currency that they know or have had before is known as Bitcoin, or maybe some other altcoins, some of the popular ones, so Ethereum, Litecoin, SRP. Some don't even know SRP. Maybe it's just only Ethereum and Bitcoin. Some know. They don't know about all the other thousands of one and the one that comes out every day, the DeFi coins too. They don't know anything about those ones. They believe that those ones are not it. It's this one. But you need to know now. But did Bitcoin, that's the question, appear out of the blue? Bitcoin, does it just appear out of the blue and then come out? Was Bitcoin a novel idea of a mysterious person or group of people calling themselves Satoshi Nakamoto? Was it? The answer to me and to everybody who have studied cryptocurrency and blockchain is no on all counts. It's not the first. Now, let me tell you, however, now, Bitcoin, I know, is the iteration of an old idea with new technology. Bitcoin is an iteration of an old idea with new technology. The technology is known as blockchain. Are you getting it now? So others that came before Bitcoin did not use blockchain, and they faced so many restrictions from banks and federal authorities. That's why you see banks and these federal authorities that are clamping down on so many digital currencies that have come before. Those ones who call them digital currency. Even the one that tried to do a secured digital currency, they didn't make it because of all these fears. You know, blockchain as we know it now is, however, unique enough to change the way the whole financial industry works. It's taking the financial institution by storm. It is not Bitcoin that is their problem. It is the technology that backed Bitcoin that is the problem. If not, and the way Satoshi Nakamoto, whether a group of people or one person did it, based on what has happened in the past. Now, like I said before, there were many cryptographers or cyberpunks who came before Satoshi Nakamoto with the intention of creating digital currency that can power alternative economy, but failed due to technical, regulatory, and ideological reasons. All of them failed. We can't talk about cryptocurrency without talking about what led to the creation of cryptocurrency. You can't talk about cryptocurrency without talking about what led to the creation of blockchain that powers it. Are you getting? You know, when you to learn about what led to the creation of cryptocurrencies, we will need to go back in history. Because before Bitcoin, there was lots of currencies, digital currencies, some are even crypto too. Indeed, it has a long and deep history. If only for the lesson that you will learn, it's worth studying. That history, if you don't know it, you can't value what you have. Satoshi Nakamoto learned a lot from the past mistakes of those that came before him. I don't know whether it's him or a group of people, but let's say him or her. I don't know. Whether it's an angel, I don't know. Now, let me tell you the truth. And it's the truth. I consider not knowing anything before Satoshi paper as a red flag to anyone that is in this business, in the business of cryptocurrency. Because you will not understand or appreciate what you are doing or understand Bitcoin properly until you go back to history of what led to cryptocurrency. Quote me anywhere. It's a red flag. If you are doing this business, you don't know the history, you can't even appreciate. Some don't even believe in Bitcoin. They don't even believe in cryptocurrency as a means of exchange. They don't even see. They don't even know what happened. They don't know how all these things all started. They don't even know the struggle. Because you are not part of the struggle. So you don't want to learn from those who struggle and bring this thing out for you that government could not clamp down. That's why we can value it and say, this is, we die here. This is where we do business. Because this one has a future. So, you know, when you now study and know about money, if you study about money, those of you who know, if you study about money, you know that money go from bartering, we go to cowrie shells, to metal coins. We now move to fiat, which is paper money. Do you know that it was in, 118 BC that the Chinese issued the first ever leather banknote? It was made out of a real white, whether they call it deer skin. And its edge, you know, at the edge, we are painted and then bright colors were on it. These banknotes were exchanged for goods then, and we are key in the establishment of a nascent commercial system there from the Chinese. Before they now, in 1800, bring out the gold standard. You all know the gold standard if you have studied about money. We know that the gold standard then was an innovation concept that, you know, the way they did it that time, they combined the best aspects of paper money with those of coins that allow central banks to create money, while at the same time having that money backed by precious metals, which is gold. They call it gold standard. So the standard, the money then was backed by gold. Not now that money, the fiat money is not backed by anybody. It's the trust that we have in the money that even makes the money to go. It's not backed by anybody, it's just government bringing out money. Then from there, we move to credit card, electronic money, that's digital money now. And it has moved to cryptocurrency. So you now know the difference between digital currency and cryptocurrency. I want you to be picking points from what we're doing right now. And then the thing has moved to cryptocurrency. I'm just giving you the history of money because the history is a deep history. But when you understand it, you know that money has evolved from one level to the other. And now it has come to cryptocurrency. From digital, electronic money is still there, that's digital money. People are sending money from their phone to this thing. You can send any amount to somebody, sharp, and all that. But we are moving into crypto. This one is now secured currency. So, a very fast history of what came before and what led to it is very important when you are studying about this. We can't get this training right if we don't go down this way. So the first known attempt at cryptocurrency occurred in the Netherlands. We are in the history right now. That was in 1980. That was in the 80s that happened. That was the first one. See what happened. See the reason. I've told this story to some few people. It was in the middle of the night. In the night, there's a petrol station around in that remote area. No, they were being raided for cash. No, the petrol station need to be on. The petrol station used to stay alive for 24 hours for all these, you know, tankers and every other things to come and then begin to buy fuel to refuel. So, but armed robbers used to raid the place, and the operators were unhappy putting gas at risk every night. But petrol station had to stay open overnight so that the trucks can refuel. They don't have a choice. So when they were not there, someone had the bright idea of putting money into a new Frango smart card that were then being traded. And so, so that when they now come, they will be able to now they will now go to the bank, put the money in that card because the person invented it. And then it will now help them to be able to now come, instead of coming with cash then, they will now come with the card. Once they buy, the person gives the fueling station, it gave them a device where the people come, they put the card and then take the amount of money that they want, and then they go. So they have paid the money to the bank, to the account of the fueling station. They now have card. So anytime they buy, if the money finish, they will now go and buy again, because they're not sending the money to the bank, they are sending the money to the account of the people. So the people who are even having the money, somebody will just go and pay almost, let me say, $1,000, and the person is buying for refueling. Once the $1,000 is exhausted, you go and pay again into the bank of the fuel. So they are not coming with cash. The people are not using cash. Then the people are not buying cash. So which one the armed robbers will come and take? That's how electronic cash was born. Are we paying attention? So drivers of store were giving that card instead of cash. You can imagine what will happen now. The stations were now safer from the robbery. So do you know what happened? The same bank, they later hijacked this system from them. That is what led to what we now call POS. That's point of sale. It was hijacked from somebody who invented to help fueling station in Netherlands. That is in the 1980s. That's how the bank have been disturbing anybody that want to do anything that has to do with money. So almost at the same time in 1983, within that period, because it's in 1980 that you guys, so you just use it for 3 years and all that, the bank gets jealous and take it on. So almost at the same time, 1983, David Chop, an American cryptographer, I told you that those who are cryptographers are those who have studied, cryptography. So these are people who can talk about secured currency. Now, as programmers, you need to be a Solidity programmer for you to be able to do more in cryptocurrency. So this guy have been investigating what it would take to create electronic cash that is secured. Do you understand? Because why is he doing that? Because his views on money and privacy led him to believe that in order to do safe commerce, we would need a token money that would emulate physical coin and paper notes, specifically the privacy feature of being able to safely pay someone hand to hand and have that transaction completely safe, private, and secure. That's what the guy have been looking out for. That is why when he look at it, he now see a way that he started what is known as DigiCash. That was the name of the currency he started then, DigiCash. So this invention of this DigiCash was extraordinary. Then, it brought a lot of attention. One, it was like new thing. The bank has already seized one that happened. And then another bank come up again and set up something. You know, but unfortunately, this David Chums that I'm talking about, him and his company, they made some missteps. They fell foul of the Central Bank of the Netherlands. That was a very bad mistake. No, now, what is the mistake? It's because the guy compromised that they will agree that was DigiCash, that's the e-cash product, will only be sold to banks. That's he now gave banks the right to be doing that. He and the bank has this thing that he need to do that for him to be able to sell this. He has to go through the bank. He has to do this and all that, and which he accepted. And then when he accepted, there was a time they were not dragging about ownership and things like that. The Central Bank of Netherlands has to weigh in. And as they weigh in, they begin to make them having a lot of bad businesses. And that thing led to them to have, many issues. And then they eventually moved into bankruptcy in 1998 because they ran out of money due to banks regulation. That was the end of DigiCash. Why did he do that dance with them? You are bringing something that will affect the bank, and the bank can begin to romance him and say, hey, bring this thing. You can't do this alone. This, and that. And he now comes to the bank, and then the bank get him, and before you know it, they say this man will take over. The banks want people to bring money to them. If I explain to you about the banks and their bureaucracy and the reason why Satoshi Nakamoto decided to take them off, you'll be surprised. So DigiCash was there. Remember, I'm taking you to a journey. So now, the invention of this DigiCash that I'm talking about, when they bring in DigiCash, when it comes, makes a lot of things. It makes things it makes people now begin to know that this thing is working. So there was a lot of startups per year working on this space to get things done. So many of them came up, begin to see, oh, how do we do this? How do we get this thing done? How do we get it done? If this thing can be done, that means other people can do it. They're trying to see what they can do it, to get it, resolved in one way or the other. BitGo, that was in 2005. The man that did it then was known, Nick Szabo. He said, for a financial system that combines different elements of cryptography and mining to accomplish decentralization. That was BitGo. BitGo did it then, they later killed him. Then Hashcash was invented. And I'm glad. That one happened in 1997, and this BitGo was 2005. So at this point, he said that they widely used, and this time around, even this is what Bitcoin is using. This is the Bitcoin mining function. Even in the white paper, I don't know if you have read the white paper of Bitcoin, but next this thing will bring out the white paper of Bitcoin. We study what Bitcoin said they are set to do, that got every financial institution, all of them, trying like, where is this guy? Where is these people? No, Satoshi Nakamoto. They double spending, this one, so many things that he's coming to do, the banking bureaucracies, everything. He was like trying to tear down the bank. So they were looking for him to kill. So Hashcash came in. Hashcash came in first before BitGo that came in. And then another one is B-Money. So they know the guy, or die. There is a distributed electronic cash system. B-Money was when you go to that white paper 2, reference Satoshi. So Satoshi reference it that through the creation of the world famous Bitcoin, they reference B-Money. So he referenced all these people. He referenced Hashcash because Hashcash system of mining, which is proof of work, is what Bitcoin is using right now. He learned from them. So even me, I was considering whether all these people now put heads together and call themselves Satoshi Nakamoto and do something and run away. And because all of them have brought things, and all of them were, there are so many of them that time would not allow me to begin to explain to you now. They all failed. They all failed. Now, America is doing their own. Then Europe now come, because when they moved to Europe, Europe began to bring the first cryptocurrency regulatory and start clamping down on all digital. So all the digital cards, we are now having issues. Not all of them now, they take them out in so many ways and make sure that they didn't exist in any form. They brought so many, when they from America to Europe, and they started a second wave, looking at a way that they will just move to get another thing done, because the first wave is that they tried to do something and the bank is disturbing, and okay, they now said, okay, let's go another way. Let's see if we can now do something and then connect to banks from start, and then they will be open to government regulations. That's the second wave they decided to go. They moved to America and said, okay, let's go to America. America will understand us. Maybe Europe has a lot of strong rules about digital currency. Let's go move down to America to go and set up something and all that, and then connect it to the bank and the government regulation. If government want to regulate us, no problem, we are open for regulations. Maybe that's the reason why the first wave died. So they have a lot of history behind them. Which time and space, time will not allow me to explain all those history for you, but I want to open your eyes to the history. So now, let me go to the second wave. What happened? There was a second wave. Which people are in the second wave right now? Now, let's go to the second wave of digital money. 1996, we have e-gold. They begin to do something different. Then we have PayPal. PayPal is still available today, but e-gold is not. I will tell you a little thing about e-gold. They will have web money, that's in 1998. Then we have Liberty Reserve in 2006. And then we have Perfect Money in 2007. That's the second wave. They moved to America, not in Europe now. They moved to America to set up a second wave of digital money. Now, what happened? There was a regulatory bust that shut down most of them. One is the thing that what things that happen? Ego ran into trouble. Why did they run into trouble? They are they are very liberal due to the liberating idea of allowing everyone to open account with them. There's no restrictions, there's no age, there's no nothing or anything and all that. So it now affected them. It brought them down. So another thing that makes them to bring it up, because they allow hypes, all these Ponzi schemes, hypes, we are using them to do programs, scamming people, set up programs, people were losing their money. Even now it's happening. So do you understand? So this thing happened, then it attracted the feds in America. They were telling them that some people will set up accounts and say, crypto trading, we want to do this, and people will come in, they don't even have any of it, they don't trade anything, they rob Peter to PayPal. People were coming in, put their money, their apps. They will say, okay, hype, and put money today, you double it 24 hours, put e-gold. If you put e-gold, you make e-gold in the other time and every other thing. So those things, people now begin to look at those e-gold and everything. Then I don't know if any of you know about e-gold. So it's like using it as if that it's for hype, it's for scams. People use it to scam people. You can easily steal somebody's money here and go. So in 2005, e-gold's Florida office were raided, and that was the end of the currency as an effective force. Because then, e-gold was really doing well. They were on top. And even the VEPs, they still go, get other competitors and exchange operations, anywhere they lay hands on, ensuring that the end of the great wave, the second wave of new money, they make sure that all these things get down. Now, some of you may understand 9/11. After 9/11, there was a huge shift of focus because that that time US were still looking at it that was fairly liberal about alternative money, seeing them as potential business innovations for the future. Looking at it that we should allow people to do that. But after that, they begin to see that those people, some of them after 9/11, they switch. That all cryptocurrencies were scammed. They use it for terrorists, drug dealers, everything. So they begin to target every digital currency, whether crypto or digital, anything, because they said some people can just use it and buy guns. People can use it and send money to fund terrorist groups, and they will not be traced. So many things like that. Everything, they begin to go after everything. That same faith, as they begin to do in 2003, the Federal Reserve, they stopped Liberty Reserve. 2013. I have thousands of dollars in Liberty Reserve when this thing happened. And that was why I was even afraid of holding Bitcoin. I said, what is this? Does it mean, at times the history may help you or hurt you? Because I know the history of what has been happening for this thing. They have been trying to do it all this while. As I said, the same thing may fall to Bitcoin. That time, Bitcoin started in 2009. And this is 2013. So Bitcoin, we're just using it there. That time, Bitcoin started with 0.00 cent, 1 cent. It's no money now, little money. So we're surprised it was going, it will go up, it will come down. At times, you will go to $50, $100, you will not jump down again to this and all that. And, the study has not been strong then. I didn't know much to study, but I know that they have been clamping down on so many things. So I was like, maybe this one is another one. Because paper was really in line with what America wants. They don't want to bring paper down. I don't know who owns paper, but they have never touched paper. Maybe paper have been a very obedient child. But other monies have been affected to date. But that one did not. So this is the reason. When you look at all these things, let me not bug you with the bad things that have happened to this money. But let me tell you, when it comes to digital currency, that will not turn to cryptocurrency now, many have tried in the past. They have all tried, do all they can to bring this thing out. So for early people that saw Bitcoin that didn't take advantage of it, it's because of past experience. That this one, and whenever they close this thing, the people that have money there, you lose your money. You can't even get your money back. When this thing happened, a friend of mine then was in UK. He told me that, I've told you that, the money you have in your bank account is your money. The money you have on the internet is not your own. I'm telling you. So he even made me not to have a lot of Bitcoin because of that statement. But he now know that he's wrong. And even to him, he's begging me out. Forget, that time, all of us were like, what is happening that US can just kill off everything? But they couldn't. They would have done it if Satoshi Nakamoto was somebody that was known. Because if they got you and got the private key of the system, that's the end of that currency. But he learned from all of them. That's why I always make this statement. Nakamoto, whether not Satoshi Nakamoto, whether a group of people, may have been the mother of Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is a child of many fathers. I believe it has not been proven. Nobody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is. But I believe that all these people that I mentioned that have moved, David Champs of DigiCash coins, and his faithful, that I told you, compromise with central banks, the missteps that, he made that the government shut it down. Other cryptocurrencies like DigiCash, the e-gold, anonymous account, and the post, 9/11, politicized reason of shutting down the second wave cryptocurrency. Their libertarian ideas that I talk about, the banks and their industrial control policy, these were the whole club. out of which Nakamoto caught the invention of Bitcoin. My take is that. And finally, let me tell you that it must be stressed. Most of successes and mistakes of some scammers, hype programs that are using Bitcoin and all that, it have been there. They used it before. So that somebody did a bad program with Bitcoin, that was the reason the government was really going after all these things. They said, no, scams, use them. And the people were just going to report to Fed in US, this person scammed me using this currency. It's not the currency, it is the business that scam you, not the currency. So, but they will go and be reporting, he used this currency, he used Liberty Reserve, he used perfect money, he used the other one and another. So the Fed will not come again after that currency, instead of coming after the people that set up those sites. So all these things that you are seeing now, that people are using Bitcoin to do, they did even worse then. High program. They will say, put $10, you get $20 in 24 hours. No, not $20. You get $500 in 24 hours. People put $200 make is there. But people are now saying it's Bitcoin. They are using Bitcoin to do it. All these things has happened in the past, so it's not new. The reason why they could not even get to this place because they couldn't even find the owner. They don't know where he is, unlike others that came before. So now, today, Bitcoin has become a force that no government or king can stop the transaction of it. And they can't stop it from growing. But we didn't know it then. We thought that maybe as they did all this one, they will still do the same thing to Bitcoin. So history that you know can either make or mar you. But it's just that this guy know what has been happening and know that fully well they will come after him. Because then we are thinking that the one that they know the owner self, they brought it down. Can't be the one that they don't know who is the owner. They will just go and close it up. Oh no, this guy hides it in blockchain that you cannot even trace it and bring it down. There's no way. Before they bring it down, you have to bring a lot of computers down around the world, and they are growing. There are miners around the world as nodes controlling Bitcoin transactions, verifying transactions around the world. So which one will you stop? It's hard. But if I had studied blockchain and cryptocurrency that time, the way I know it now, I would have known, oh, this one is not like those ones that they brought down. So now I want you to always remember this wherever you go, that Satoshi Nakamoto may have been the mother of Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is a child of many fathers. So all the missteps that all these ones made, dancing with the government, you want to bring something that will be against the bank and government that is controlling central bank, the printing and minting industry. And then you now go and begin to dance with them and show them that I want to bring something that is going to affect you. And you want them to allow you to move. When you make one mistake, they use that one against you and bring it down. Because the thing is like, you are now challenging the bank who has the right to give people money and to make them to be their own bank and leave bank and begin to come to you. So that was why and what happened. I want to stop today's lesson here so that you'll be able to ask me questions on this history. Because as you get this history now, it's easier for you to know here going forward. Because after here, the next thing you need to know is that about blockchain. Then how did blockchain come about? Who invented it? How? But you all know who invented it. I don't know whether they're a group of people or a person, Satoshi Nakamoto. And the reason why he decided to do that, because of what has happened in the past. And then ran away with nobody knowing. But if he appears today, they are one of the richest people because, blockchain transactions are very open. So they transferred some level of Bitcoin to that wallet and it's still there, just like their own. So if the person appears, he will be one of the richest people in the world. because Bitcoin is growing. Maybe when you appear and come, because the wallet is still being checked, we are still seeing that that money is still there. They have not moved it. It's still in that wallet. They have not sell it to any other person to collect cash. So is this person still alive? Or he just left the money there? Because you can see any transaction in any account, how much that account has, and how much that is still remaining, and how much that have been transferred. That's blockchain for you. So it is now time for you to ask questions concerning what we have studied today.